Domestic violence among the NFL. Before the 2014 season of Sunday Night Football kicked off, it was foreseen that viewers at home and at the game itself would drop dramatically as a result of the Ray Rice issue that occurred during springtime. Media felt that the NFL would lose many viewers because of the way Roger Goodell handled the situation. When Roger Goodell gave the two-game sentence, it sent the public into an outrage. By the reaction of the people, it seemed for sure this would be a bad decision for the NFL. Kickoff for the NFL this year was a great success. Americans are tuning in from all over despite the recent domestic violence incident that recently took place this year. Not only were they able to beat their average viewer ratings, they were off the charts. According to CBS, their viewers increased almost 2 million viewers. Lauren Sahlers, a Los Angeles bankruptcy attorney, she continues to watch her hometown Dallas Cowboys because football is an ingrained part of her family life. In many interviews among fans, it was shown that despite the cases of domestic abuse, fans will continue to watch their Sunday night games. Fans feel you should not purposely avoid watching the NFL because of domestic abuse, but should respond in another means. A few fans said if someone on their team commits domestic abuse, they will not buy their team's merchandise. Ray Rice is not the only case of domestic violence in the NFL which received lack of discipline. This stems back some time ago. For instance, a case in 2000 accused Rod Smith, a Bronco player, of choking his wife and smashing her head several times into a wall. He started playing for the Broncos in 1994. After the New England Patriots dropped his contract, he was only playing for the Broncos for 6 years before his act of domestic violence arose. Smith pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of verbal harassment just days before he was to stand trial on third-degree assault and harassment charges, which was $1,000 fine, 36-week counseling, and 2 probations. The NFL, on the other hand, did not suspend him and only charged him with $25,000 conditional fine. He wouldn't have to pay it if he adheres to his probation. At the time, Smith denied hitting his former girlfriend, and even before the NFL imposed a conditional fine, he said the league would not suspend him. Due to so many cases of domestic violence in the NFL, studies were conducted to find out if something was causing aggression in football players. Studies concluded that concussions may have an impact on aggression. Reports show an increasing number of retired NFL players who have suffered concussions developed memory and cognitive issues such as dementia, Alzheimer's, depression, and chronic traumatic encephalopathy. As NFL players smash their heads into one another, they are unintentionally harming their frontal lobe of their brain. In serious collisions between players, the frontal lobe can become damaged, and same with the rest of the brain, leading to the concussion. Studies have shown that the frontal lobe controls people's emotions. Players that have damage to their frontal lobe can be prone to aggression and show signs of domestic abuse towards their wives. Domestic violence, also known as intimate partner violence, spousal abuse, or domestic abuse, is the abusive behavior of one partner toward another in an effort to gain and maintain control. The behavior can vary in frequency and severity and may include physical or sexual violence, as well as emotional, psychological, or financial abuse. Intimate partner violence affects all manner of romantic relationships and can negatively impact family, friends, and others. There are many counseling groups out there for couples, but it is proven that none have really worked or lasted. Women believe that the NFL, the players, and the union are not trying to end domestic violence but trying to cover it up. Wives of the players from the NFL share story on how the NFL try to ensure police do not get involved. For instance, Smith Williams said her husband flew into a rage, taking a baseball bat to the interior of the house. Recalling Haslett's instructions not to go to the police, Smith Williams instead dialed the NFLPA rep assigned to his case. She said she was instructed to let him leave the house and that someone would call her back later. That call never came back. NFL players' wives are stepping up and taking a stand against domestic violence in the NFL.